ProWrestlingSheet.com.
As Brock at WrestleMania, you worked with Brock obviously at WrestleMania. What is working with Brock like? Is it different than working with other wrestlers? Like, what's it like backstage? He's like a guy that we don't really know a whole lot about, even though he's on our screen so often.
We're going to keep it like that. I'm not going to tell you anything about the backstage, but it puts you on a different level. When you work with Brock Lesnar, when you're in the ring with Brock Lesnar, it jumps you multiple levels. My life changed in 2015. WrestleMania 31, it hadn't been the same. So, I mean, a lot of love for Brock. He's a great performer. A lot of people heard the statements that John Cena made about him. I'm not sure if he was wrong. You know what I mean? He's one of the few guys that people really, really believe. Even as a performer, you have to always keep your eyes on him. If you watch when I'm in the ring with him, I never take my eyes off of Brock because you just never know. That's the type of competitor. That's the type of intimidating man that he is. So I think the fact that Drew's going to him next, he's in good hands.
Is Brock's secretiveness kind of like part of just his aura and allure?
It's the best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's old school. It's the mystique. It's kayfabe, you know what I mean? It's what we don't have anymore because the internet and, you know, the stories, and they have to know everything we're doing. And I'm guilty of it these days too, man. You see me on the treadmill every day now. But yeah, that's what's cool. And I think it works best for Brock because of his background, his legitimacy, and just that. I mean, Brock is one of those guys, that special it factor that when he walks in the room, you know it. You know what I mean? You know it, and you have to be concerned about him. And another thing about him, who doesn't want to see him fight? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can throw anybody, any beast-looking dude in the world and be like, yep, oh yeah, throw him against Brock. I'll pay for that fight. So.
Last question. Jon Jones, UFC champion, said on Sports Illustrated the other day, it's inevitable he'll be in WWE. Your thoughts on that?
I think he's a great athlete, great mixed martial artist. I'm all for, you know, bringing big names, but at the end of the day, it's an art form. You got to know how to work. You got to put your time in. It takes a lot more. You know, it's not just a fight. We're fighting for the audience too. We're entertaining. We're pleasing the crowd. So it's just a little bit different of a dance, but we have all the resources to teach high-level athletes what to do.
With Edge coming back recently, what was that like to see him come back after 9 years of being out with that neck injury and told that he would never wrestle again?
Such a great story of hope, right? Like, I mean, it felt inspirational being out there. There was a point where I was sitting after Drew threw my ass out. I'm sitting there next to him, looking at Edge, like, damn, man, like, I cannot believe Adam Copeland's sitting right next to me, man. It's crazy, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that a couple years ago, it was out of the question for him to throw his body around, to deliver a spear. And now we just went toe-to-toe. We just banged it out, 1-2'd, and now we're on the apron, and boom, you know what I mean? Like, I eliminated him, and it was just so incredible. And like I said, just such a great story of hope and inspiration. You know, the fact that he didn't take no for an answer, the fact that he put the work in, he put had the passion and the drive to get himself there. I think it's a great story of patience and persistence.
What does it mean for you? Obviously, we lost a great global icon, Kobe Bryant. The Mamba mentality, you exemplify the Mamba mentality, especially when you went through. What does it mean to have a guy like that not being here anymore? What does the Mamba mentality mean for you personally?
Every day you have the chance to compete at the highest level that God gave you. I think Kobe was an example of putting all of you into everything. You know, he didn't half-step anything. If he was going to go, he was going full tilt and trying to win, and that showed in his life and his legacy. But to me, I guess just it really opened my eyes because Kobe Bryant fan, absolutely. Did I know him? No. You know what I mean? Essentially a stranger to me. You know, he didn't know me. He didn't know me. But just such a huge impact, you know. And even when he was alive and playing, he was absolutely a role model. But it felt like I knew him when I heard the news, the impact of how it made me feel and the emotions that I felt. It just reminded me of just when being a public figure, you know, having that connection with your support system and your fan base. It's very important to be able to be like Kobe and set that good example, and just leave that great impression. You know what I mean? I want to live a long long, old life, you know, and in my sleep somewhere when I'm 100 or so, but it's important that we remind ourselves that it's about the impressions and the impacts that we make on others, and Kobe definitely did that. And my love and my condolences go out to all the families involved, but to his little girls and his wife, I couldn't be sadder, and my prayers are with you.
As a former football player, I'm sure dreamed of playing in the Super Bowl. What does it mean to compete in some of these Super Bowl stadiums like Raymond James and like SoFi?
It's unbelievable. Man, yeah, it's crazy because the football door got closed on me, you know, and I thought, man, I'm never going to have an opportunity to do that. But WWE's done so much to open so many doors for me. Not only just, you know, from performing and competing in, you know, stadiums, but being a part of the Super Bowl and being able to work with Fox and just, you know, being on a grand stage like WrestleMania and having the privilege to entertain, you know, hundreds of thousands of fans, millions globally. It's still unbelievable to me sometimes. I think about it. I mean, I grew up in the opposite of LA. I grew up in a small beach town in the panhandle of Florida. And if you would have told me I'd be standing in here talking about what I'm going to do in 2021 up in the SoFi Stadium, I'd be like, quit lying to me, bro. It's no way. But it's just really neat to be able to stand here and see all this happening. And as you know, like I said, especially from the year I had last year, to be standing here, participating with you guys, promoting this event, being a part of it too, you know, God willing, very blessed.
This is the Rams and Chargers Stadium, but whose yard is this?
Bang, bang, Niner gang, baby. Yeah. We already know that, though. Hold on, let's just talk about this. Yeah, let's just talk about this. What about the game, though, this past year? It was all red. It was all red at the Niners-Rams game, so just get used to this. Ninerland, yes, sir.
So Simone Johnson signed with WWE this week. How do you feel about that? And did you give her any advice when she was thinking about making it official, like full time?
No, she's good on the advice. She's got the big bald guy. But yeah, no, she's all good. We're so proud. Obviously, we want her to finish her education and do well in college. But man, it's just so great that she has a direction. You know, at such a young age, she has a passion, a direction, and I imagine she's got a level of intensity to succeed like her father. So I think she's going to be just fine. She's obviously got huge shoes to fill, as we all do in our family tree, but she's got plenty of help, plenty of resources. It's just about putting in the hard work and just finding herself, and she'll be good.
Have you seen her wrestle at all yet?
I have not, no. But
that's what everyone wants to see. So
us island folk, we know what to do in that ring. I think she'll be fine. Yeah.
ProWrestlingSheet.com